Hey y'all, Biohack here. One of the things I always want to try and do on my account is use my resources as efficiently as possible. And often, one of the ways to do that is to run the dungeons with food in the team so that you can double up and get both experience and gear at the same time. However, with the advent of hard mode dungeons, this has become more and more challenging. And where I used to level a lot of my food in spiders, I couldn't do that anymore with the hard mode because I didn't have a team that could do it. Well, today I'm super excited to share with you a team that can take down Spider on hard 10 using only 2 champions. This is actually inspired by a video Tyraku did a little while ago where he used Mithrala and Artak to do a duo team. But the gear on Artak was pretty intense. You needed like a lot of crit damage, you needed a ton of speed, a lot of survivability, and it looked like it was pretty hard to do. But I found a way that's actually a lot easier. Well, it's still not easy, but what are the champions? So first things first, we're going to use Mithrala again. Obviously, she's a freely available champion through Hydra, so a lot of people will probably have her. This is how I have her built. She's got 8,000 or 80,000 health. She's got around 2,700 defense and 280 speed. Eventually, I'm probably going to glyph her to about 285 speed, so she can be the cleanser in my Phantom Shoguns team. So if you haven't seen that video, check it out. Very accessible, free-to-play friendly Phantom Shogun teams available. But anyway, so she can set up to do that. She's in a regeneration set right here, and then the other key champion on the list is one who was a guaranteed epic champion actually several times in the past, one quite recently, and someone you guys will probably have, and that is Akemtum right here. So what does Akemtum do for those of you unaware? First things first, he only has 2 active abilities. The first active ability hits all enemies 3 times. Each hit has a 60% chance of increasing the duration of any hex on the enemy by 1 turn, and if enemies are not under hex, it has a 60% chance, books up to 75% in both of those cases, of landing the hex debuff for 2 turns. So this is one of the most reliable hexes in the game. It's very, very consistent when you hit 3 times with a 75% chance, so he will consistently land this, no problem. The other thing here is he has, on his A1, attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit has a 40% chance of placing a poison debuff for 2 turns. And if the enemy is under hex, he has a 40% chance of applying a debuff spread, where he'll take debuffs from the main target and spread them to all the enemies under hex. Okay, so that's all well and good, but what really gets him going is this passive right here, and that is has an 80% chance of inflicting damage from 1 poison debuff to all enemies under hex whenever their allies receive damage from a poison. So what's important to know about this is it books up to 100%, so it's 100% chance. When he deals that poison damage, he deals it as if he's attacking the enemy, not as if it's a poison. So normally when poison ticks, it's kind of just out there off in the void, like doing its thing, but things like lifesteal set or stun set or anything like that wouldn't apply. However, with Akemtum's passive, it's actually counting as a hit against the enemies, and what that means is that in this case, our lifesteal gear can actually apply to all that damage and do an insane amount of healing in the spider, which is what you're going to see. So that's the key to making this work, is that you need to build him in a lifesteal gear set. Now I'm going to show you his gear real quick. I will note right now that this gear is not super free-to-play friendly. So the champions are accessible, but unfortunately the gear to make this happen is not. But it's not as bad as it could be. So here are the stats I have on my Akemtum. He's got 300 speed. Now, I will say, I didn't sit down and math all this out and like make a very particular speed tune like I've done for some of my other videos. I just kind of built him with a lot of speed and a lot of tankiness and crossed my fingers and hope for the best. But this has been very consistent. I will say, well, we'll talk about the failure rate when we actually show you the run, but it's not 100% consistent. There's a few places where it can fail, but it is very consistent. So main things that we need here. Okay, first off, he needs to be fast. So like I said, I haven't built at 300 speed. A couple other things, well, we'll talk about those in a second. That's just his base speed, but we're getting the speed in a lot of other places as well. He's also got a lot of health. One of the ways this can fail is if the spider literally crits and one-shots Akemtum straight up. So he does need to be pretty tanky. I've been crit by the spider for like 60,000 damage. So even with 6,500 health, I haven't been crit in a while since I got it up this high, but even with slightly lower the stats than this, he can get one shot. So that is pretty important. He does need to be fairly tanky. You'll also notice I have a blessing on him right now. I'll point it out. It's a 3-star commanding presence. The blessing helps reduce the damage that the spider does to him. So honestly, I don't really even care. Like, none of the blessings for him are particularly good. I'm mostly just picking this one because it helps my aura a little bit, gives me some HP, but more importantly, also reduces the damage that he takes thanks to just having any blessing at all. So I'm just trying to emphasize that tankiness and speed are very, very important, and then you need enough accuracy to do the job. Actually, I should probably be showing you the stats with my area bonuses turned on. You can see that his accuracy is more than enough. His speed is actually 306, 66,000 health, 2,800 defense. Okay, and then masteries look like this. We took stuff in the defense tree, mainly just things to try and reduce the damage, because like I said, getting one shot is a risk. I took rejuvenation. He probably doesn't need that now that I think about it, but it's fine. Damage reducing from AoE attacks, more, well, the spider will heal. This is also who gets that. He probably, again, well, once I actually run this, he heals so much, it's insane. And then more damage reduction. And then one of the important things here is we take some other masteries. So we take Arcane Celerity. Every time the buffs expire, it gives him turn meter boost, so that's pretty nice. We take some accuracy stuff. We have a chance of extending duration. I mean, none of the, like, this will help with the poisons a little bit. But the main thing that we really want is Oppressor. This right here is going to give him a very nice amount of extra turn meter. This is going to help him get running super, super quick. And of course, we also take Spirit Haste right here because we are bringing in food, so our allies will die. We'll get an extra 24 speed from that, which is very, very handy. So that's his masteries. And like I said, I already showed you he has the Commanding Presence Blessing. Okay, let's jump over to the other champion in this list. That's going to be Mithrala. I showed you her build actually already. She's in Lifesteal. She's got 81,000 health, all of this stuff right here. She's got more than enough accuracy and resistance to do her job. Masteries, let me show you those real quick since I didn't have them. This is honestly just stuff I left on her from before. I think all of this stuff is fine, just more tankiness. Actually, things like blast proof. Well, I guess I can't get blast proof without swapping this stuff around. So yeah, anyway, you know, shield buffs are nice, all this other kind of stuff, but her masteries are not that important. Just, you know, give her basic defense. If you have another set of masteries you want to use, it's probably fine, to be honest, but this is just what I have on her. And then if we jump over to the team, unfortunately, this is a team that requires presets. So I'm going to show you what it's set up like. This is what the presets are. We're going to prioritize Akemtum's A1. He is kind of weird, and for some reason, he doesn't always prioritize. He doesn't always use this as the first ability, even if he has 2 skills, and for some reason, he'll use his A1 a bunch of times instead of his A2. I don't know why. He does. But anyway, we're going to force him to always use that. Mithrala, what's really important here is that we need to prioritize A1 as the opener because we need this poison to land on the spider. This is going to be critical for killing the spiderlings on the first turn that the spider takes. One of the failure conditions of this team is that if Mithrala gets 3%ed and the poison doesn't land, it can cause the run to fail. Now, I will point out, it says attacks 2 times at random. One of the attacks will always hit the boss, so you're okay. Actually, if you weren't aware, most random, not all, but most attacks at random, if you click on a target, the first hit will go to the target that you hit, or the target that the AI chooses, and then the other hit will be random. So this, even so it says 2 times at random, will always target the boss on one of the hits. We need her to do that as our opener. As our A2, we need to make sure that we are placing the Hex. So we prioritize this on the second ability, and then the A3 will just go off when it's ready. We're going to show you the run, and you'll kind of see how it works. But the idea is that Akemtum places the Hex, Spider takes a turn, Mithrala takes the Hex, Spider takes a turn, Akemtum takes 2 turns, puts up the Hex, the Spider takes a turn, and it kind of works like that. So let's go ahead and jump into these runs. They're usually about 45 seconds if everything goes perfectly, to about a minute, maybe a minute 20 at the most. So we're going to have the spiders come in. Akemtum's going to go out. He is going to place his Hex. We're going to have Mithrala put the poison on the boss. Boss takes a turn. And we got a bunch of healing there. We were already full, so it's fine. We get the counterattack. We're putting up a bunch more poisons on the boss. Spiderlings are going to come out. Akemtum's going to go and hit the boss. He might spread. No, he did not spread it, but he could spread to all of the spiderlings. Okay, there we go. And then you'll see the spider took a turn. Akemtum got full healed completely all the way back up to full, and all the spiderlings died. Watch this again. We'll see. Watch his HP right when the spider takes the turn. Here we go. We're following up with the Hex. This is why we go twice. And then he's all the way back up to full HP. He was pretty full to begin with there, to be honest, because he didn't take a lot of damage. But here we go again. We're going to take another round. And then he should... actually, Mithrala... Oh, actually, no. This run, the spider's going to hit us. It kind of depends if we get any resets or anything. And then here we go. You'll see he's about half health. I want you to watch his health right when the spider takes the turn. Right here, Mithrala should be putting up the Hex. There we go. Watch. Oh, wait. Nope. One more time. There we go. Okay, he's going again. Boom. He gets to full health, and then the spider hits him. And that's what happens every time. So even if he has a teeny tiny little sliver of health left, as long as he doesn't get one shot, the boss is going to completely heal him all the way back up to full before it does the damage. And then he'll be fine, right? So let's just run this again. Like I said, there's basically 2 times where this can fail. That first poison right there gets resisted. That doesn't necessarily guarantee that it's going to fail, but it does dramatically increase the probability because it means the boss devours all the spiderlings and starts dealing a lot more damage. And then the other one is if the boss straight up one-shots him, which as long as he's tanky enough shouldn't happen, but it can be hard to get him kind of tanky. So there we go. Healed up again. And we'll let this run one more time. You can see in that time his A1 actually spread the Hex to all of the spiderlings. That's a really nice bonus because it means we don't have to worry about necessarily guaranteeing that we're going to come in. We're going to be in there and be fine. But sometimes that can help like speed up the runs. So here we go. We're going to be just over about a minute on this one. We should be. Did not spread any Hex. Okay, there we go. See, look at that. 61,000. So he's very low on health. This is what I'm talking about. He needs a lot of HP so that he doesn't get crit right there and die. But it's fine. Even though he has almost no health, you'll see as soon as the spider takes a turn, it's probably going to die right here. But it will completely heal him back up to full as soon as it does take that turn. There we go. Boom. All the way back up full health. The spider dies. All right. There you go. That's the team. I've been using this to level food for quite a while now. I will say if you want to increase the success rate even more, like I said, the primary fail condition, as long as everyone's built tanky enough and built with enough speed, the primary fail condition is Mithrala's poison getting resisted. So we could bring in another poisoner. For example, Bad L is a good option. We could bring in a Bad L and guarantee that the poison we'll have 2 chances to land the poison, which basically means we're never going to get 3%. You can see this run, it'll also run just as well. This can just help improve the success rate a little bit. It just depends on whether you want to prioritize getting all the XP you can at the cost of potentially losing out on that 3% chance to fail, or you know, if you're just willing to accept that kind of success rate with the getting more XP as a result. So let's go ahead and let this run finish. Everything should be going fine. Obviously, it slows the run down a little bit because Bad L needs to do his attacks, but it's not too bad. All in all, these runs are still, I mean, I don't know, I guess it's all relative, right? But about less than a minute run, and you can get 3 food levels at the same time. It's totally worth it for me. But then again, I'm a player who has a lot of time. Okay, there we go. 44 seconds. Got it done. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys found this video useful. I've been really happy with this. Let me know if you build it and it's working for you. And I will see you in the next one. Cheers.